So another theory lesson here, which is going to be on VSPro biomes, which is a core topic to VSPro. You need to understand biomes in order to use it effectively. So what is a VSPro biome? Well, in its simplest form, it is a collection of trees, grasses, objects. And those objects could be things like rocks or really anything that's not growing and stationary, right? And it's a collection of those things along with the rules associated for planting those things. Like for instance, how thick, how heavy should I plant these grasses, these trees, or these rocks? You know, how dense should they be? How big should they be? How tall should these trees be? Should the height vary? Should I rotate these things? How much should I rotate them? Um, what if I am on the side of a cliff and it's really steep? Should I still plant them on the side of a cliff? What about the side of a mountain? What about the hill? So those are slope rules. In other words, you know, do I plant something on steep terrain or does it have to be flat? And also height rules. You know, there's a huge mountain back there, a snow-capped mountain, which usually doesn't have vegetation at the top. Should I not plant trees at the top of there? Or, you know, or maybe you just want to stop planting trees on the side of, you know, a higher and I want to do certain only pine trees at a certain height. So a biome is essentially a list of trees, grasses, and objects and all the rules associated with planting those things. So some biome best practices. Um, these aren't things you have to do, but it's highly suggested that you do, is keep the number of biomes that you make reasonable. On my courses, I typically don't need more than 5, maybe 6, and then once it starts to get hard to track them after that. So I think 5 or 6 is pretty reasonable. You shouldn't need more than that. And use a separate biome for your hand planting. So when you plant by, you know, using, you know, when you're clicking, you're not planting by rules. Create a separate biome for that because eventually we're going to bake all of our rules-based planting. We're going to bake them and make them persistent. And one is it's hard to track what you've baked and what you haven't baked if you don't, you know, have a separate biome for hand planting because hand planting by its nature is baked already, but the rules-based biomes are not. So we'll have to bake them later on. So the good rule of thumb is to keep your a separate biome for a hand planting, and also that you can run into some potential issues where things get double rendered, especially if you're importing from Unity planting tools, the native planting tools, you can get a little bit of problems. So you want to keep a separate biome for persistent planting, and we'll talk about setting that up. And there's also this notion of a default biome. We'll see this in the VSPro. You might see it mentioned in Discord. A default biome plants everywhere. So as soon as you create a default biome and you add something to it, it ends up anywhere that you have a Unity or a VSPro terrain added to your scene. It'll plant everywhere on that, which can come in handy for using image-based planting, which I referred to earlier that we're not going to cover. But it doesn't work well for what we're going to do with biome mass. So we're not going to have a default biome. So if you ever see something about creating a default biome, just stay away from that for now. You're not going to be using a default biome. So to give you a couple examples here, let's look at this like forest or maybe it's a jungle scene here and what a biome would be consist of for this. And if you look at this and you're going to make something like this in a game, you would have probably maybe 2 different tree types. So I see these trees back here. Maybe these trees are different. They're a little farther out. And the trees had the vines kind of integrated into them. So those trees would be in my biome. I see 2 or 3 different plants out here, and then I see a couple different rocks. These might be the same rocks, these might be the same rocks, so maybe 3 different kind of rocks. And you can see in here, we would have rules regarding how thick these trees, how thick these plants are planted. And then you see I've got one big tree here, and it's not really seen anywhere else. This might be planted by hand. So this is a special, I would call a feature tree. So because it's central and it's a very big part of our scene, this might be planted by hand. And then maybe even these rocks are planted by hands because I don't see these rocks go throughout the scene here. So these might be planted by hand as well. But a biome would consist of everything you see in the scene, and then there might be a separate biome for the tree and the rocks that we're planting by hands. Another example that would be a very different biome would be this desert scene. And in here, we might not be planting anything by hand. We might have maybe two different models of cactus, these green trees or these green shrubs or bushes, maybe those, they're very lightly dense planted. We've got some dark grasses in here that are planted, these dark bushes, some low grasses. So in this biome, you could really be surprised if you think about the amount of vegetation. There isn't much. There's maybe two cactus, two or three bushes, and maybe two or three grasses max. And that makes up the whole thing. So don't go crazy on adding six different kinds of trees, five different kinds of bushes, six different kinds of weeds. You can typically get away with two or three trees, two or three bushes, or I'd say medium-sized trees, and then maybe two or three grasses. That's all you really need. So your biome shouldn't really consist of more than at a maximum of like 9 different plants. And then of course you can add, I don't see too many there are a few rocks in here, so maybe two or three different models of rocks. So this just gives you a quick introduction to biomes.